Hello, and thank you for joining me on today's video blog. I'm Stephen Pilkington with Compass Real Estate and the Path Home team. So on today's video blog, we're going to discuss what can you expect as an agent in the wintertime when you're having conversations with your buyers and sellers. Now, many of you who've been in the business for more than a year will know that starting usually around Halloween towards Thanksgiving, you'll start encountering people who have inquired about selling, but they all say the same thing. I'm gonna wait until springtime. You know what? We wanna wait until springtime. And what I recommend is then asking, I'm curious, what's important about waiting until springtime? And usually the responses that I typically get are, it's not a good time to sell in the winter. Houses sell for more in the springtime and the summer. And that it's just not as pretty out. And to a point, they have a little bit of a point there. There are some challenges when selling in the wintertime, and you want to be very straightforward with your clients about that. That they are going to have to shovel snow. We're going to have booties out so that it doesn't get wet in their house. Yet, do they know that the inventory is down typically about 28%? Yet the number of homes that sells only drops between 15 to 20%. So you typically have less competition and potentially more opportunity for a bigger buyer pool for the percentage of homes that are listed in the wintertime compared to that of the summertime, where everybody's listing and everybody's competing. So just remember, ask them the question, what's important about waiting to summertime or springtime for you? Is it that you think the house is going to look better? Is it that you think you're going to get more money? And then be there to show them the real data of what's happening in their neighborhood, because we can always tell them something and they might believe it about this much, but if you tell them and show them, they're going to believe it this much. So when dealing with sellers, just know that when you know your numbers in the wintertime, it could be a fantastic time to sell. That being said, if somebody has a half-acre lot or an acre lot that's manicured with a fountain in the backyard, it's probably best to wait until springtime when everything starts looking beautiful again. But what about on the buyer side? You're speaking to a buyer, you get a lead that comes in, you meet a friend, family member, whatever it is, and they're like, you know what, we definitely want to buy, yet we really want to wait until next year. Say, fantastic. What's important about waiting to next year? What do you think will be different in the springtime? And make sure to come from curiosity. Don't say things like, why are you going to wait until next year? Because that puts that buyer on the defense. Where if you say, what's important to you about waiting until next year? And if they say, we haven't seen anything, no problem. Let's get you set up for the search. And why don't we sit down to go through and figure out your criteria so that me as your agent, I can hunt for off-market properties for you. Did you know that in the wintertime, while there might be less properties available on the market, a lot of the folks that are selling in the wintertime are relocating. The highest percentage of relocations in the Denver metro area typically happens between the beginning of December and the end of January. So you get a lot of folks who are selling their house, they can relocate somewhere else, and you might get a really good deal on a house for somebody who really needs to sell. And if you look at the interest rate environment, what is happening? If it's really low, is there any reason to wait? A lot of other people have the same thought that those buyers have, where they might be holding off until the springtime. So even though there might be more homes in the market, the competition might actually be a little stiffer. So if you're somebody who might be purchasing with an FHA, VA, or low down payment, or even a down payment assistance, you might have a better opportunity when there's less buyers hunting, and you can go out and find that property that you really like. So I hope you've gotten some value out of today's video blog. I hope you have a couple of scripts, a couple of things that you can tell your buyers and sellers about what they can expect when selling in the wintertime. And ultimately, at the end of the day, come from curiosity and make sure you're doing what's best for them, and then you'll always win as an agent in the end. So until the next time, have yourself a fantastic day, stay safe and healthy out there, and I look forward to talking to you again.